Who made the decision that you were going to go out on the pier and approach these individuals?
Sergeant Bulldog.
Sergeant Bulldog was the ranking officer on the scene at that time, right?
Yes, sir.
And he remained the ranking officer on the scene until Lieutenant Garcia arrived sometime later.
Yes, sir.
And once Lieutenant Garcia arrived, Lieutenant Garcia took charge of the scene, correct?
Yes, sir.
At the point that you and the other officers and the ranger decided to go back out onto the pier, the only information you had was that there were armed individuals on the pier, right?
Correct.
Ranger Venus had told you they tried to hand him some documentation.
Correct.
Ranger Venus told you he did not take that documentation. Ranger Venus told you he did not take any documentation from the individuals, right?
Sorry, a call came through and I lost you at the beginning. Just you repeat that.
Sure. Ranger Venus did not take any of the information the individuals tried to provide him, did he?
I don't know if he took it. I don't know.
He didn't provide a copy of it to you.
No, sir.
He did not provide a copy to either of the other any of the other three officers that were with you.
Not that I recall, no.
Sir, on that date, were you aware that it was lawful to open carry while fishing in the state of Florida?
No, sir, I was not.
You had never received any training on that statute?
No, sir.
Were you aware of what statute allowed you as a police officer to open carry?
Yes, sir.
What statute allowed you as a police officer to open carry?
790.
Specifically 790.25 sub 3 sub D, correct?
Correct.
Did you have that knowledge when you went out onto the pier on June 24, 2018?
Yes, sir.
So you knew about that language. But you didn't know about the exception or language for hunting, somebody hunting, fishing, or camping, right?
Correct, sir.
Okay. Sir, on June 24, 2018, did you have a Florida concealed weapons firearms license issued by the Department of Agriculture?
Did I have a concealed weapons permit?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever had a concealed weapons firearms license prior to June 24, 2018?
No, sir.
Do you have one today?
No, sir.
Were you wearing body armor, sir?
I don't remember, sir.
Did you have a patrol rifle in your car?
No, sir.
Did you ask any of your fellow officers if they had a patrol rifle in their car?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you believe you might be responding to some type of active shooter situation?
Possibly.
When responding to an active shooter type situation, wouldn't it usually be a good policy or procedure to go get a patrol rifle?
Not always, but yes.
Okay. Well, if you were responding to a potential active shooter situation where no shots have been fired yet, that might be a good time to go get a rifle before such things started happening, right?
Correct.
But you didn't ask any of the other officers if they had a patrol rifle with them?
No, sir.
Did the ranger inform you that the individuals had been aggressive with him in any way?
No, sir.
Did he inform you that they had threatened him in any way?
No, sir.
Did he tell you that they had been very polite and non-confrontational with him?
No, sir.
Did he report that they were in fact confrontational with him?
No, sir.
Did he make any report to you regarding the armed individual's demeanor or behavior to you, other than the fact that those individuals were carrying firearms?
I don't recall.
You don't recall anything he said that indicated such behavior other than the fact they were carrying firearms, right?
No, sir. I don't remember what he said.
Now, you wrote both the original offense report in this case and a supplemental narrative regarding this case, right?
I believe I just wrote the report, the initial. I don't recall if I wrote a supplement also.
You were trained on writing reports in the police academy, right?
Yes, sir.
You received further training from your field training officer after you joined the Miami Beach Police Department.
Yes, sir.
You received training from a field training officer at the City of Hialeah Gardens Police Department regarding reports, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
And in every instance, you were trained that your report should be as complete and thorough as possible.
Yes,
Object
sir.
to the form of the question.
You go ahead and answer, sir.
Could you repeat the question?
Sure. You were trained throughout your law enforcement career that your report should be as complete and accurate and thorough as possible, right?
Objection in the form of the question.
You can answer.
I couldn't hear you. Can I answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. The answer is yes.
You were never trained that you should leave things out of your report.
Objection in the form of the question.
You can answer the question, sir.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know if you were talking. A phone call had come through.
Okay.
I declined it. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you if you can place your phone. Can you place your phone on Do Not Disturb? Do you know how to do that?
All right. Let me see if I know how to do that. Let me see. Could it be maybe airplane mode? Is that what that is?
Airplane mode will kick you off of this call as well.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, hold on a second. All right. Okay, that should work. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right. Madam Court Reporter, can you read back the last question, please?
No problem. Question, you were never trained that you should, excuse me, if you could just give me 1 second, I apologize.
Sure.
The question is, you were never trained that you should leave things out of your report, correct?
Question was that I was trained to read things out of my report?
To leave things out of your report.
Leave things out of my report? No. I was never trained to leave things out of my report.
And in your report, the only concern or thing that you identified on that date when you wrote your report was that you were responding to individuals who were openly carrying firearms, right?
Correct.
You didn't mention anything about the fact that they were near government cut. In your written report.
No, sir.
You didn't put anything in your written report that you were concerned about an active shooter.
No, sir, I did not.
Did you put anything in your report about a concern that they were sovereign citizens?
I don't believe so.
Your sole focus, according to your report, was the fact that they were openly carrying firearms on the pier.
Yes, sir. My report is a synopsis of the incident and the actions that took place. There was no arrest made or anything, so that's what we put in. That's what I put in the report.
Did sometime during that day, did you hear instructions from Lieutenant Garcia that y'all should be very careful in writing your reports and make sure you were very detailed and clear and accurate in your reports?
In the form of the question.
I don't.
Did you hear me, sir?
Yeah, repeat the question, please.
Okay. Are you having trouble understanding me or hearing me still?
No, sir. What happens is if someone talks, the end of your question is faded out.
Okay.
I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do. I understand completely, sir.
So,
All right. So I will repeat the question, Officer Bellman.
okay.
At any point during or near the end or conclusion of this incident, do you remember Lieutenant Garcia making any comment to you or to other officers that y'all needed to take extra care in writing your reports on this incident?
No, sir.
You don't recall any such statements?
No, sir.
And you didn't overhear any such statements on your body cam that you listened to yesterday?
No, sir. I don't remember that.
Who made the decision, or excuse me, back up. Did Officer Venus, or Ranger Venus, did Ranger Venus advise you that there was some prohibition or ordinance or sign that prohibited the possession of firearms on the South Point Pier?
I can't recall if he mentioned the sign.
At some point that day, did you observe a sign that prohibited possession of firearms on the South Point Pier?
Yes, sir.
When did you first observe that sign?
When we got to the front of the pier, when we got to the beginning of the pier there, it's on the left-hand side.
Okay. So before you went out on the pier, you saw the sign, before you first went out on the pier to confront these individuals, you saw a sign telling you no firearms on the pier, right?
Yeah, the sign is before you enter the pier. It's right at the entrance.
At that time, did you believe that sign authorized you to prohibit firearms on the pier?
Yes, sir.
Were you aware of any city ordinances, rules, or regulations that prohibited firearms on the pier at that time?
No, sir.
But as far as you were concerned, once you saw that sign, you knew that you were in the right in terms of deciding that people should not have firearms on the pier, right?
Well, sir, we're under the impression that you could not carry open carry in the state of Florida.
Okay. So you were under you were under the impression, number one, that there was no that persons were not allowed to open carry in the state of Florida, and you were under the impression that the sign prohibited firearms on the pier, right?
Yes, sir.
You believe both of those things to be true at that time?
Yes, sir.
Do you now believe those two things to be true as you sit here today?
No, sir.
So if the goal of those individuals was to make you better aware of the law, they accomplished that goal, correct?
Objection in the form of the question.
You can answer.
Yes, sir. The incident made us aware of the statute.
Was it, as you went through the incident that day, was it your understanding that part of the goal of those individuals was to make you aware and make sure you complied with Florida law regarding the right to carry firearms by citizens?
Objection in the form of the question.
You can answer.
No, sir. I don't know what their intentions were at that point when we got there.
I'm not asking about at a particular point, sir, other than at the conclusion of the incident that day. Did you become better educated on Florida law regarding the right to possess firearms by non-law enforcement officers?
Form of the question.
Are you having trouble hearing me, officer?
No, I heard you. I thought it was an objection.
Well, just but from now, I mean,
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to answer or if somebody's objecting.
Unless I instruct you not to answer the question, this is Bob Switkus. My objections are for the court at a later time. Unless I specifically instruct you not to answer, once I object to the form, you can answer. Okay?
Okay, so you, but what it is that I can't hear what your objection is. I can't hear what you're saying, so I don't know. Do I answer or don't I answer?
Okay, I'm turning my volume up. Is that better?
That's better, yes.
Okay.
all right. Officer, just in case we have any further problems today, I'm going to get away from the incident. Are you on a cell phone today?
Yes, sir. I'm on a cell phone.
Okay. You do not have a laptop computer or other computer that will allow you to participate in this today, right?
No, sir, it does not have a camera.
Okay. Do you have any tablets or other devices that might allow you to participate in this deposition as we sit here right now?
No, sir.
So your phone is your only option?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have a place that is indoors and free of other distractions or other background noise that you can conduct this deposition from?
Well, no, the outside noises, it's quiet out here. I'm having some construction done inside of the house, so that's even worse. I'm outside. But there's no noise out here. The noise is not the issue. It's just the fading in and out of the volume sometimes. But I can hear you fine now.
Okay. Well, we'll keep going then.
Eric, I'm trying to switch devices myself, and I'm trying to get in on my laptop.
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm paying attention to other things here. Hold on.
Can you let me in? I can switch. Thanks. I appreciate that.
All right. I'm going to wait till you are confirmed on your other device. All right. Mr. Rosenwald, are you confirmed on your other device and you're able to hear everything?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Officer Villamil, at some point the decision was made for the four of you to go out on the pier to confront these individuals. Who made the decision about how you would approach the individuals once you got to the pier?
I believe it was Sergeant Bulldog, sir.
Okay, and what did he instruct you in regards to how you would approach these individuals?
I can't recall.
Did you hear anything on your video body cam regarding his instructions?
I don't remember.
But you just watched the video yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
But you don't remember what you saw or didn't see on the video yesterday regarding Sergeant Baldock's instructions to you?
No, I don't remember what his instructions were. I think we pretty much came to an understanding that if they are armed, we will approach with our weapons drawn. Other than that, I don't think we spoke any more about how exactly we were going to take care of it.
And you say take care of them. What was your goal when you went on the pier at that point? What was your immediate goal?
Our immediate goal was officer safety at first, and to secure the weapons if they did have any.
Okay. Is it your understanding, based on your training, that the mere fact that somebody is armed allows you to disarm them for officer safety?
Okay, repeat the question.
Is it your understanding, based on your training, that the fact that somebody is armed allows you to disarm them for your safety?
Yes, sir.
So any armed person, you're going to disarm them if you approach them.
No, sir.
Okay, who would you not disarm if you approached them and they were armed?
Another officer, a federal officer. Anybody in law enforcement who was uniformed at the time.
So any person that you do not immediately recognize or identify as being a law enforcement officer, it is your standard operating procedure to disarm them when you approach them.
Yes, sir.
Question.
And is it your understanding that that is also the policy of the Miami Beach Police Department for you to take the same action?
Yes, sir.
So you don't believe that you need any reasonable suspicion that the person does not have a concealed firearms license prior to detaining them at gunpoint?
Object to the
Well,
form
well-
of the question.
Go on,
We're talking about open carrying.
All right, Mr. Rosenwald, I understand you object to the form. I am not going to entertain speaking objections.
Well, if you want to mischaracterize what he just said and turn it to something totally different, I'm going to make an objection based upon it.
Okay, object to the form.
I did.
All right, Officer Villamil, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Is it your understanding, based on your training that you've received from the City of Miami Beach Police Department, that you are authorized and acting in accordance with policy by disarming a person merely because they are openly carrying a firearm?
Objection to the form of the question.
All right, sir. If they're open carrying in the state of Florida, at that time, my understanding was it was illegal.
Okay.
Okay. And that's why we drew down on them, because officer safety wise for the public and for ourselves. Okay.
Excuse me. You broke up. If you could please repeat what you were saying, I apologize.
Okay. I don't know where I broke up, but if you're talking about this incident, this particular incident, and they were open carrying, it is illegal in the state of Florida to open carry. And the reason we had our weapons drawn was for the safety, officer safety, and the safety of the public.
Okay. But Officer Villamil, you were
Yes, sir.
open carrying too, right?
I'm sorry?
You were open carrying a firearm, right?
Yes, sir.
And the same statute that allowed them to open carry allowed you to open carry, right?
Objection to the form.
At the time, I was not aware that they were allowed to open carry while fishing.
Okay. I understand you weren't aware of it, sir. But my question was, both you and those individuals were open carrying under the provisions of Florida statute section 790.25 sub 3, correct?
Objection to the form.
Yes, sir.